You're watching Tea and Poetry with Dave Steele, the blind poet.
Hello, hello, hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good evening. I want to welcome everyone to Tea and Poetry. First things first. So let me go ahead and enable the auto transcription. For those of you who enjoy it, it is now live. Good to welcome back Travis from a little bit of a hiatus. So we'll get to you shortly as well. And I also want to mention specifically that this week we are back to our original format. And for those of you who joined us last week, it was quite incredible where we allowed everyone to have their video on and for everyone to be able to see each other, for those who were able to benefit from that. However, when we went over to that aspect of the Zoom platform, we lost the ability to send out reminders to everyone as far as the upcoming Tea and Poetry. So we've decided to go a little bit backwards, go back to the original format, and we are going to do everything in our power to see how we can integrate the best of both worlds. So for now, this is the way it is. But perhaps if I don't know, I guess if I brought everyone on or made everyone as panelists, but then muted everyone, that might be an option. So I'm going to be playing around with it. If you're brought on to become a panelist, you will be muted. But if you want, that video will be there. And this way we can do our best to interact with everyone in a very comfortable environment and also, have a little more fun here. So with that said, I just want to also get through a couple of things. The usual, you can post in the Q&A, you can post in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand to speak, that is how we will bring you into the mix. So we will go from there. And I want to, like I said, welcome everyone over the next hour. We're going to be reading poetry. I understand we have some great guests, special guests this afternoon / evening / morning. We have our good friend Ken, who comes to us from Australia. Good morning, Ken. We miss you. Welcome back. And it's great to have you here. And yep, COVID is, I think while it's definitely slowing down around the world, it definitely caught a lot of people off guard, especially for individuals that are vaccinated, boosted, the whole 9 yards. So, hey, you never know. So, Dave, how are you today?
I'm good. Looking forward to this. As we said, we have possibly a couple of special guests this evening. I've got some new poetry. I've had a kind of good week writing. A lot going on in the background at the moment. You've been mega busy. I've been kind of busy doing lots of interviews and podcasts and things like that. Last week, after Tea and Poetry, we had I did a radio interview in Australia in the morning on Friday, and then a TV interview for a Canadian TV later on in the day. So those will all be being released and posted over the coming weeks and stuff. So yeah, it's been busy, but I've actually got to writing some good stuff as well, which I'm going to kind of share with you guys tonight. There's a couple of pieces of poetry. One, which I'm pretty sure I didn't write until after last week's Tea and Poetry, which when I posted it on social media, it has been shared everywhere. Sometimes right words, right time, just kind of strike a chord with people, and people really relate to what you're saying, and they kind of share it, and the comments and things you have. And this first piece I'm going to read definitely did that. And then I wrote one today, this morning, which I'm really proud of. It's really special. Every now, I write a lot of poetry. I'm still writing pretty much most days, but every now and again I write one and I go, yeah. So I'm actually I'm not too sure which one to share with you, the one today or the one from last week.
Well, maybe
Just
both. I think we'll be honored to have both.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's hit you with both back to back because I've got plenty.
Back to back. Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
with
intense.
both back to back. If you can take that.
I just before you read, I just want to say for all those individuals who maybe came on a few minutes late, didn't hear what I initially announced. Yes, if you were here last week, we had everyone's video available for everyone to participate. However, because of the way the Zoom platform works, when we changed over to what we call the meeting versus a webinar, we lost the ability to send out reminders to everyone. So some people were, just waiting for that reminder. People, rely on that reminder, and we want to, make sure that we're being fully inclusive and not leaving anyone out. So we went back to the original format. This is the original format for those of you who are joining us for the first time, and it's great to see some new faces. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to see how we can bring everyone in here. I'm thinking, like I said earlier, if I bring everyone in as a panelist, but I will then mute you. So it'll be your choice if you want to have the video on. So take it away, Dave.
Yeah. Okay. So all right, we'll do back to back then. So yeah, for those people that are new, obviously we're going to have a special guest in just a little while. And we're going to get to kind of talking and being interactive. But at the beginning, at the end of the call, what I like to do is kind of share a new piece of poetry with you guys. And Barry loves to kind of take notes and pull out, specific lines that resonate or kind of stand out. And I invite all of you to do the same as well. So I'm going to start with actually the one that I wrote this morning. Literally I've got the time on there. I wrote it at 9:36 this morning. Just kind of got up and was doing my thing, and then this kind of just fell out of me. And it goes to actually something that we were talking about on last week's call, which has really been at the front of my mind over the last week, because of some people I've been speaking to who were struggling with a few things. And we were talking on the call last week about how, and you'll remember this, Barry, about how the things that we go through in our past, those tough times, are a reminder of actually the things that we are capable of surviving and dealing with. And it's a good thing to kind of look back on our tough times and go, yeah, I'm capable to face these things going forward. So that was something that I've really kind of touched on. So this is called What Makes a Stronger You. And I wrote this morning. I've come to realize that all the things that we go through have made a stronger me, and they will make a stronger you. Our scars are just reminders of the things that we've survived. Your armor may be scuffed, but you're still breathing, still alive. So listen to that voice that lives inside your beating chest. It doesn't mean you're weak to speak of times when you're depressed. Don't listen to the people telling you what you feel's wrong. It only makes you human, and in time, you'll soon be strong. I know this from the times in life, the way out I couldn't see. I felt like no one ever would see anything in me. Spent years without a home and hid behind a smile. Though every lesson I have grown, those times were all worthwhile. So know the reason I am here reciting this to you. When things feel like they've broken, know that you will be the glue. You've built yourself back up again 1,000,000 times before. So know you're more than capable to face what lay in store.
I'm still writing. There are so many things that come out of this piece. Hey, Mike, just want to say hello to Mike from Connecticut, and Amy sends a hello from the Sunshine State of warm Florida. It is back to normal Florida temperatures. We'll talk about that shortly. But, I think the key takeaway here is stronger, right? We go through life, all different chapters, and I would say we all come out and as we enter one or exit another, or exit and enter another, I should say, we become stronger individuals. And I think that's I think the essence here. That's what makes up our character. That's what makes us move forward. I was talking with someone the other day, about being stronger themselves, how we can not to look backwards, to keep the negative thoughts out of our mind. It's very, very difficult. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to be strong. But when you do that, you become stronger, and we train ourselves and our mind and our focus. And I think that's really what the essence of what that piece is. It's know you're more than capable. Like you ended off, know that you are more than capable. We are all capable. I mean, every single one of us out here has tremendous capabilities, no matter what is, what curveballs are thrown at us. And I can tell you that I haven't personally met a lot of individuals here. I've gotten to know a lot of people. All of us, including myself, are continuously thrown curveballs, and we just got to. It is life, and sometimes the curveballs veer to the right, to the left, up and down, and we have to really. You don't always swing at them, but we have to be able to deal with them. And sometimes some are harder, some are more easier. But I promise you, stay focused. We come out of this stronger.
Stay focused, yeah. Yeah, I often talk about how a lot of my poetry is always, it's always rhythm and flow and music inspired. And that the opening of that poem to me when I wrote it this morning really kind of resonated with me of something that could actually be a song and be in a piece of music. That line itself at the beginning of I've come to realize that all the things that we go through have made a stronger me and they will make a stronger you. I can see that as a chorus to a song.
Yes.
So yeah, it was nice writing that piece. So I'm sure there's some comments coming through in the chat how people can kind of relate to that.
Yep. I'm able to get some people here into getting their video on, and if I'm asking you to start your video and you're comfortable with the video on, that's great. We'd love to have you with the video.
Yeah, so I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold off on the other piece just for a little while, because I want to kind of make the hour always seems to go so quick, as we all know. Those people that are regular on Tea and Poetry, but for those new ones, it does go very, very quick. I have one, potentially two special guests tonight, and I want to try and fit them in if we can, and get as much talking, because I think you're really going to enjoy this, Barry. As I said at the beginning of the call, I've done a lot of kind of podcasts and interviews over the last week talking about the new book, Austin's Amazing Adventures. And my first guest that I want to bring on, we've not actually spoken yet properly. This will be the first time we've ever spoken, but we've kind of been aware of each other and supporters of each other for a little while now. And it's the gentleman that you just pointed out from, I believe, Connecticut. Is it Mike?
Yes.
I'd like to bring Mike on, and we're going to introduce Mike and talk a little bit about what he does and why I've invited him to come on tonight and be one of my special guests.
Awesome. Well, Mike, you are mic'd up. You're ready to roll.
I'm ready to go.
Hey,
Awesome.
There you are, Mike. Look at that. You've even got the logo behind you. I'm loving that.
I was recording today, so yeah, it's just
cool.
On.
So, Mike, let me introduce you to Bari Azman, my good friend, who I believe, Barry, are you in Miami at the moment, or are you?
I am in Miami.
Barry flips between New York, Miami, and Baltimore. Me and Barry obviously work together. So Mike runs a YouTube channel, Instagram, all over social media, called The RP Show, which is obviously the RP of retinitis pigmentosa, the condition that we share. And he also runs it with another gentleman here in the UK. So it's another kind of like this transatlantic kind of social media thing where one's in the UK, one's in the States. And it's Steve, isn't it, who you're with in the
Yeah.
UK?
Yep, not that far from you.
Yeah, he's literally in Manchester as well, isn't he?
Yeah, like I know he said he's like probably like less than 30 minutes or something, or I don't know, really close.
He is. I've known Steve for a little while now. He's kind of we've messaged and followed. I've never actually met him, but so can you just explain to everyone that's kind of watching in what the RP show is about, how it came to be, and how you kind of got connected with Steve as well?
So the RP show basically, I was just actually a better way to start is how it really all began was I actually do a podcast also called Living Free with RP, and I had him on as a guest, and we kind of sort of really connected. And I was like, I'm meant to do something with this guy. Like we're supposed to do something. So we kind of chatted on and off throughout 2020. And about summertime of 2020, I sent him a message and I was like, dude, we should do the RP show. Like there's nothing out there, for people who are just starting out their journey, so to speak, of, dealing with RP. And, we wanted to take our, all the information we've learned since we've been diagnosed and share that with everybody else, and all the tips and tricks and things that we've learned, but do it in a more humorous way, and just be fun with it, and give people an outlet to turn to help them, kind of navigate this whole world of RP and stuff. So come January 2021, we're just like, let's do this. Like we've been talking about it, but let's now, fresh start. Let's do it. So we started recording, and I think our first episode was like March 1st, 2021. And it's 10 episodes. We're currently now in season 2, and we're down to episode 7's about to come out. We just do, like last season, we covered a bunch of stuff, like, things that RP people hate, and things that just a bunch of technology, and iPhones and things, like just all different kind of crazy stuff. And then we finished it with a big epic, basically just showing there's nothing you can't do, like we this one was just basically me and Steve, and this the big epic that we ended up with. But right now we're working on a bigger one, and we want to involve everybody. I mean, anybody who is RP, we want to have some involvement in this final episode. So for season 2,
I know what this is, and I think it's a bit of an ingenious idea, because I think it's someone or something, I should say, that not just people with RP, but anyone with kind of low vision can really relate to. But before you get to that, I want to ask you a couple of things.
Sure.
What you were saying. So, first of all, I love how you kind of take the humor in things and really use that in all that you talk about. Is there any particular kind of episodes that you've done on topics? I think we've actually, before we start, I know we've kind of turned people on and stuff. If anyone is cameras on at the moment, could you make sure that yourselves are muted, just so, especially for the captions, that we're not getting other voices coming through. So just check.
Yeah, I've just muted.
Okay.
No, the people that should be muted.
Yeah, that's no problem. So yeah, is there any particular episodes or themes that you've done, or you've said about kind of tips and tricks and hacks, things to do with low vision and RP, that everyone can kind of relate to? But is there anything that you've done that really kind of stands out that you've really enjoyed talking about?
The things I think what was really good and it was really popular with a lot of people was episode 4 of season 1. It's the top 10 things that RP people hate, and it was just,
what were those like?
Like when someone says it's over there, and obviously we finished number 10 being the dreaded wet floor sign. And just all the topics, all the things that just drive us crazy, that realistically only we truly understand. But instead of making it all just sad and everything, but we took it and made it really funny. Like I know there's one that sticks out that I like that Steve did, and it was what drives him crazy is when his friends, he's like, oh, has anybody seen my keys? And they go to throw him his keys, and of course he's not going to see that. So it cuts to a clip of his wife Anna basically in the background throwing him his keys, and the keys just slapping him right in the chest because he didn't see him. So just it's stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just stuff like that.
We have stuff, you know, being a family, you know, with my wife and the kids in the house, and people are trying to rush out the door, you know, school runs and all this kind of thing, and something goes missing, like keys, car keys, a bag, you know, a wallet, anything like that. And it's like there's a whole, you know, everyone does it. There's a whole panic on going around in the house trying to find something that we need to get out the door, and I'm just kind of useless, you know, in the whole thing. Just going, no, I
got nothing. I'm sure it's somewhere. But you know what? Yeah, you know us. We have to have everything where, like, even if it makes no sense of where that thing is, when someone takes it and moves it, we're like, we're gone.
It's frustrating, infuriating.
Hey, Mike, are your episodes, are they live or are they pre-recorded?
So far all have been pre-recorded. We have talked about actually doing a live episode at some point.
That's great.
Yeah. The other thing, obviously, we were just about to talk to was the last episode, and you kind of alluded to it just then. So can you tell us about what you're encouraging people to get involved with for the last episode?
Well, we would keep in like a little bit top secret about what we're doing, but we want to take, basically, I need people to make a video 4 to 5 seconds long and take a wet floor sign, however you can get one, and destroy it and kick it, punch it, throw it, literally do whatever you've ever fantasized about and just, you know, make it happen, because we want to take all these clips and then we're going to use them in a special way. Because like I said, I don't really want to say too much about what's going to be going on, but it's going to be really awesome. So, and I'm hoping to get, we're just talking to Steve today. I was hoping actually to get like more than 10 videos at least, but so I'll plug at some point I'll plug my email address if somebody could, if someone on here is interested in joining in. Doing it, so
if anyone here in the U.S. is looking to purchase one of those wet floor signs, I'm sure you can go to uline.com. They've got plenty of them. And I
know
Amazon. I have 3 myself. Yeah.
Can you get them on Amazon? So. I may need to get one because I may want to take part in this. So I might have to order one.
That'd be awesome. That'd be fantastic.
Send you a video myself.
I have one where I put a video up. I was actually expecting more of a reaction from it, but I have a katana and I actually sliced it in half with a katana. So that was fun.
Of course,
my first time ever using it. I don't know, and that's what you should probably not do when you have RP. But
so, hey, Mike, for all those out there that are here listening, first of all, what's the deadline to submit the video, and where should people submit the video?
Well, we've been both saying about 2 to 3 weeks would be realistic. So anytime between 2 to 3 weeks, if you can get us it, that's cool. Because we're about, I think, 4 weeks out of working it, of it coming out. So 2 to 3 weeks. Send that over to the RP Show 2021 at gmail.com.
So the RP Show 2021.
Yep, at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
I'm sure most people listening to the call understand what we're talking about with wet floor signs, but for those people, because there will be people, watching this, posted to YouTube or on the call now that don't get the reference. Can you kind of explain what the thing is with wet floor signs and us?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, it was funny when I joined the Facebook groups. I too did not realize this was a thing. I thought I was the only person that was having trouble with these god awful things. And so basically, you guys know the wet floor signs, or if you didn't, I know some countries actually don't have them, I've learned. But anyway, they're usually, someone mops the floor or whatever, and they put this yellow, usually plastic item that has no traction whatsoever on it, and is easily able to be kicked over or, fall over.
I just pause you. I'm just saying, I'm just ordering one on Amazon.
Oh, there you go. See, there you go.
There you go.
I've got one on Amazon.
The enemy.
Dave was holding up his iPad. He's on Amazon and he's pulled up one of those yellow wet floor signs.
And then what happens for most of us, since we lack peripheral vision, and especially down low, curbs and all that, and cones and stuff usually don't tend to be our friend. So yeah, these things are everywhere. Then they tend to put them in our walk, like perfectly where you walk, like not off to the side or anything like that. They're always right where you're going to be going, and boom, you just kick them, and you just kick them over. You slide on them. The more embarrassing thing I always say though is that it's trying to find it and then stand it back up, because it made this loud noise, and now it's drawing attention to you.
Oh God, yeah.
And you're like, okay, I don't need this. I'm already holding a cane or whatever, and someone's already, they're already staring at it as it is. So now I got this now, so I'm trying to find it and pick it up and stand it back up, and it's always,
Have you ever got one caught, your cane caught in between?
Oh yeah, you'll slide, or you get a foot. If you get your foot perfectly, you can slide. So, which like totally defeats the purpose of the wet floor sign, which is supposed to warn you about slipping on the floor. So here you are slipping on the floor regardless.
I literally walk into a store and it's almost like I'm a magnet to them.
They come to get you.
Yeah, you know the way like sometimes like evil people in films will like they almost have them floating towards you. When they kind of move to the camera, they're drawn to me. They come from all angles, and I'm surrounded by them. I don't. Have you ever seen the meme of the swimming pool? Where
someone's floating on. It's floating on the water.
Yeah, floating on. Yeah,
someone's got jokes. Yeah.
I will find them. But yeah, it's a brilliant idea. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. We do actually. We finally signed up. We gave in and signed up for TikTok, and actually that's where I go to make ridiculous, funny videos about wet floor signs, because of that whole theme. And one of them, which weirdly got a lot of views on it for whatever reason, because it's an old reference, and it was I made a reference to the movie The Shining. So I had the 2 wet floor signs. I put them at the end of my hallway, and they actually had the creepy, come and play with us, and it was like I made this perfect video, and for some reason, like I was like, wow, I actually didn't expect many people to really get that reference, but I thought it was hilarious.
But it's doing things, and this is another reason I kind of wanted to bring you on today. We often have guests on Tea and Poetry, and we speak about how there's lots of us out there trying to help people feel like they're less alone, break down the many misconceptions about low vision and blindness, and educate people as well, and actually doing it in this way through humor, especially with platforms like TikTok, is a really, really powerful way of doing it. There's quite a few people in the UK and in the States recently that have kind of are being highlighted by a lot of the big organizations like Foundation Fighting Blindness and the RNIB here in the UK for doing these kind of things. There's a great, I forgot the name now, you'll know them yourself. There's a couple, a young couple, and one of them's deaf and the other one's blind, I think. One of them's got Usher syndrome and the other one's got RP. So one's deaf blind and one's blind, and they do funny videos and about kind of the misconceptions. And then there's another couple where the guy in the relationship, he's registered blind. I think he's completely blind actually, and he does a lot of kind of really funny videos of taking misconceptions and actually flipping them and using them to the extreme. So like he was like decorating his Christmas tree, and he had like bottles of ketchup and all sorts on the Christmas tree, just kind of, just some awesome. Yeah, but just really using that kind of humor in that kind of way to make people think. I think is a great thing, and we're all trying to do.
Yeah, you have to
You know,
laugh.
we're all doing our thing. And you said that to me today. You know, you said, well, actually, it wasn't today. It was when we spoke on your live video that I joined. I think it was yesterday, and you were saying about how you know, there's lots of us out there doing these kind of things, and we need to connect more. We need to support each other.
We all have this stuff going on. Yeah, we all have this information, all this other stuff, and nobody knows it's out there.
And I think you're the same. You're the same opinion of me sometimes, where there's a lot of people out there who are so focused on their kind of thing that they don't actually support other people. And I'm, you know, I'm the opposite of that. I you know, I love highlighting other people and us getting together because we are doing the same thing.
No, I appreciate that. Like, cause when first I was shocked actually when you were on my video. I was like, oh, Dave Steele's watching my live video, and then it was cool that feeling though to know that like somebody who I see as being, I would say, I guess RP famous in my book. I mean, because my friend's a big fan of yours. He's got RP and he's like about a mile or so away from me in town. So, and he loves your poetry. So, I mean, to me, I think no matter how high you get up, and I'm trying to remind myself, and me and Steve actually say this a lot. We say how no matter how many subscribers we get, or no matter how many, you know, likes or whatever, we want to try to remain us. Like I still want to, we get messages from people direct, just telling us how great they love our show and how much it changed their life. And it means so much to me, and it means so much to Steve. And so that's what drives and keeps us going, you know, especially when we're watching one of our videos and going, why isn't this doing better? Why isn't this getting more likes? Like, you know, we just remind us that that's not what it's all about. Sometimes it's about finding that one person who was having an awful day, and maybe our episode 4 like made them laugh, and that was what they needed.
100%. Barry, I'm sure you've got things to kind of say and ask and things. Is Barry there? Is he gone?
Barry, I think is he muted?
No, sorry.
There you go.
I'm talking away, and it's funny. I was on a Zoom call this morning. I'm talking, and I was on mute, but you know, to the point you were saying, first of all, again, all of the episodes are there on YouTube if someone wants to go ahead and watch them?
You can search the RP show 2021, and that you should be able to find it that way.
Got it. I was pulling it up before, and then I came back and I closed that window. I wanted to go ahead and make sure that I was pulling up the correct thing there.
Yeah, we just reached just past 300 subscribers, so you know,
congratulations.
We're growing. I guess slow, but it's getting there. So we're happy.
As you said, it's sorry, Barry. I was just going to say. Sorry to interrupt. You're exactly right. What you just said. It's about the impact. You know, the subscribers and everything else will come with time. It takes a while to grow these things, as we all know. But it's about, you know, if you're doing something, putting some content out there that's brightening up one person's day, it's worthwhile.
And you must. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I was saying, like, that must be like, I mean, how you felt when you started and stuff like that with all your poetry.
It's been 7 years plus, nearly 8 years since I started doing this, and every message I get is like hearing it for the first time. I never take it for granted.
Awesome. That's great.
I'm sure that's the same with you.
I love that. Yeah. No,
I think cool. I think, you know, a lot of us don't necessarily, you know, go back. I don't know highlight something what you're saying, because it actually went back to a conversation that I had with someone this morning, not from the sight loss community, but someone I got to know from commuting every week between New York and Baltimore. And this person was faced with a tremendous life challenge. And, you know, today we were talking, we haven't seen each other, you know, face to face in a while, because she doesn't commute anymore, and I don't spend that much time on the train anymore. And what she said to me really stood out. It was similar to what Mike was saying, that we can have, all of us here can have a profound impact on other people's lives without not necessarily knowing that we are making an impact on a person's life. And what I mean by that is that this person told me this morning, she said to me, she goes, Barry, she would take the train every Monday morning. She would go from New York to Baltimore to Johns Hopkins. And, we became good friends. But what she said to me today was, she goes, your smile our conversations, just being there, the camaraderie, the friendship, knowing that I would get on the train on Monday morning and you would be there, it made me feel so good, and it helped me get through my challenges. And it's something that
Awesome.
I never even thought about it at the time. It was just one of these things, where we're acting natural. And so I always say, we can really, all of us can have a tremendous impact just by having a smile on our face. So
That's absolutely true.
I want to take this opportunity to kind of expand this conversation a little bit more. I love these things when they're really interactive, and these things with team poetry always seem to happen at the right time, and things fall into place, especially when I bring on special guests. So what I want to do now, Barry, if you would indulge me, is to bring on another guest that's going to be linked to the whole thing into the conversation as well. Okay. And so on Saturday morning, as I said last week, I've been recording a lot of podcasts and interviews all about Austin's amazing adventures and kind of my book. My book and my latest book and the stories all behind that. And I recorded an interview with a fantastic, we just once again hit it off straight away. Fantastic lady who is originally from, I think, Nigeria, I think she said, but she lives in London for a while now. She's up in the northeast in the UK, and that's Bambi. So can we bring Bambi on? Because I'd love to introduce
Bambi is here,
to Mike.
And Bambi is unmuted and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
We can hear you.
You can hear me. Great. Sorry, I'm late. I've been to the gym and I had to see somebody.
No,
so
I was keeping an eye out for you just in case I said no pressure and everything. Bambi, I want to introduce you to Barry. Barry, as I've spoken about before,
Hi, Barry.
And also Mike. Mike runs a YouTube channel and different podcasts and things like that. He's in the States as well. Bambi, introduce yourself if you can, and obviously talk a little bit about our conversation on Saturday.
Yeah, so I'm Bambi French.
Great name, by the way, Bambi French.
People tell me that. They're like, everyone knows who I am. You say Bambi, it's like, yeah, of course we know who she is. So I was diagnosed with Stargardt's disease when I was 15. I think it was coming on before then, but it was 15 when I it was at 15 when I got my diagnosis, and I've kind of just lived trying to make it through, as it were, with this eye condition. I said to Dave in our conversation on Saturday that I didn't have any of the independent living skills training or anything like that. So it's felt like I've kind of muddled my way through, living with sight loss. And yes, I've lost, some of my sight through the years, but I'm not completely blind, so I can, I do have some functional sight. Gosh, there's so much to tell you. I don't really know what to say. I mean, So I've taught special educational needs for the last 12, 15 years, children with all kinds of needs, and that was really because of my own experience in school, and I really wanted to kind of meet with those children. And I suppose in the last sort of couple of years, I've really started to think about the way in which I view my disability and my sight loss, and where I have worked to try and be like everyone else, and show that I can do things like everyone else. I have come to understand that actually I can use my story and my experiences to help others. And that's come out in my work in schools, where I've worked with young girls who I kind of see myself in when I was that age, and see the struggles that they're going through. And, being able to encourage them has really made me, think about telling my story in a bigger way. So last year I decided that I wanted to start like a coaching business, as it were, to support women and girls all over the world with who have sight loss. As Dave said, my parents are from Nigeria, and there was one point at which they had decided to take me and my sisters back to Nigeria to live. And that didn't work out, but I often wonder what would have happened if I had been in Nigeria growing up with this sight loss. I don't think I would have been as far as I am. So my ultimate goal would be to work with girls in the developing nations who are living with sight loss, because as well as being a woman and having a disability in those places, life can be very difficult. So yes.
I was just going to interrupt there. That was something that really struck a chord with me on Saturday when we were speaking. Is, you know, we talk about, and we've just been speaking about with Mike there, how Mike uses, you know, the RP show to talk about the misconceptions regarding low vision and blindness that are out there in a humorous way. And we talk about these misconceptions that all of us face in places like America and the UK. But actually, you know, the misconceptions that are out there in other countries, where, you know, women, as you say, and people in, you know, different countries are impacted by lack of education and some very kind of cultural beliefs that people who have disabilities are even less than second-class citizens. They are cast aside. And that's something that we really spoke about. And I thought that was a really interesting conversation to kind of expand on. And also, I think it was a really great idea of you pursuing in the future and wanting to help and educate people, especially in places like Nigeria and other countries.
Bambi, first of all, pleasure to meet you, Bambi. I just wanted to add to, you know, something that happened literally a few hours ago. I was on a virtual call with a gentleman in India near the Bangalore area, and he asked me at the end of the call, and this is a very well-educated individual. He's in his 30s. He has an MBA. He's going for his PhD, and he's a professor in a college. So very well-educated individual. Quite a bit, you know, resume, and he's telling me that he would like to, you know, move possibly to the U.S. and come abroad for 5 to 10 years before going back to India. But what he said to me, he goes, Barry, can I ask you if this is the following statement is true? He goes, I've been told that if you're blind, you will not be able to be hired. You will not be able to excel. You will not be able to accomplish and grow with your capabilities. And he said to me, he goes, is that true? If I come to the US, is that accurate? And I said, no, that is 100% false statement, right? You know, where someone should be told those misconceptions as far as that, you know, you work so hard to get the education, and this guy, you know, he's breaking down barriers. And he wants to do more, and people are telling him no, that he'll never be able to succeed outside his four corners, per se. So I think that it literally just happened a few hours ago on a call. So it's, you know, we bring this up.
And it is that message that I want to get across. I mean, like I said to Dave, when I came out of the hospital, the first thing my mom said was, "Don't tell anyone." That we will, and you know, we're a Christian family, and the culture is, you know, you pray and you'll be healed, kind of thing. Don't tell anyone, we'll just pray and it will be fine. You know, she then realized obviously that it wasn't actually going to end up that way. So there is definitely a culture of disability being something that is not, you know, that is not seen as accepted, or people with disabilities are less than. So it's definitely something that I want to do. So the message that I'm trying to get out there and that I'm sending is through the podcast that Dave, you know, that episode will be coming out soon, and it's called the She Is a VIP podcast. And when I've looked at the you know, we use that term VIP in the community, don't we? And we know that it's, those of us who are visually impaired know that it stands for visually impaired person. But when I started to think about it and think about these girls in particular in these places growing up, I think, well, what else does it mean to be a VIP? So my message is that your status as a VIP means more than simply being known as a visually impaired person, that you are a very important person, that you hold a very important place in the world, and that you have a very important purpose to fulfill. So it's getting that into the minds and the ears of those girls and those women at the earliest stage possible, and helping them find the thing or the things that they can do to their communities and even the world if they want to, that they don't have to feel limited because of the limitation of their sight loss.
Love that. Love that. Listen, we're kind of like 15 minutes from the end of Tea and Poetry. What I want to do is I want to kind of get a bit more interactive. So I'd like to invite anyone out there. I know we've got a lot of things being said in the Q&A now from people watching. This is a really rare opportunity. We've got Mike and Bambi both on now. It's very rare we have two guests on Tea and Poetry. So at the same time. So I'd like to invite people, if anyone wants to come on, open up the camera, open up the audio, both or either or, and ask a question to either Mike or Bambi or both, then please do it now. Raise your hand, click the button and come on.
So I want to just say that I've moved many of you over as panelists, and many of you have your video on. Thumbs up to everyone who has the video on. Great. It's great to see everyone in the participation and just really see everything. If you're still on the attendee side, you can raise your hand, and I'll, click, as far as clicking the button, raise your hand. I will bring you over to the panelist side, ask you to put your video on, and you can come on. Now, if there's someone who is already on the panelist side with their video is on, give me an actual physical thumbs up if you would like us to unmute you and interact and share your thoughts and ask any questions. So if you want to be unmuted, I think you might actually be able to just unmute yourself straight away. So if there's anyone there that wants to, please let us know. Travis, so let me bring you Travis. Absolutely. Here we go, Travis. Hold on. There he is.
You are watching live team coverage right here, right now on Tea and Poetry Radio and TV, brought to you by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. The Low Vision Shop, now open in Miami, Florida, and South Florida, and Lucas Lagoons, well-known pool designer in Florida and throughout the United States. Now you can watch it on Animal Planet.
All right. How are you, Travis?
Good. How about you?
We're doing great. Doing great. Great to see you out there. Good to see that the thumb works as well as far as the virtual thumb. So we were able to bring you on. Awesome. We miss you over the last few weeks, but we're glad to have you back. I want to just mention Mike. I want to introduce, Mike here. I want to bring Mike into this conversation. Mike is doing all these things, these videos and compilations of, wet floor signs. What have you ever encountered, Mike? So I was going to tell you, Mike, Travis works at the Home Depot. Okay.
All
and
right.
I wish you can fly out to California and film some things together there with Travis. I could just see you guys, running down the aisles with those Home Depot carts with a camera.
That'd be good.
But Travis, so have you ever encountered anything as far as those wet sign floors or other, those, I know that they have when they close off those aisles. What have you encountered?
I can see colors, so I have encountered the wet floor signs, and they don't have good traction, but I'm able to get around them. And also, too, I have encountered no carts, which I use my cane to get around them typically, or sometimes I might have to move to the left, especially if they're merchandising, like if there's merchandise for Black Friday in the middle of the aisle. And of course, I've encountered aisles that are closed because we have the barricade gates that close off in the bays, and so whenever I know it's closed, I just look just to see which is open so I can go through another aisle, even when it's not as busy.
Got it. So
Yeah, I used to work at Home Depot. Very familiar.
Really?
I did.
oh wow.
That's what?
I was a cashier, So
Oh.
self checkout and regular cashiers.
Oh yeah, gotta love self checkout.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is it accessible at the Home Depot?
Hmm?
Is the self checkout at Home Depot accessible?
Well,
Amy
Not
said
really.
no, not
I
really.
have-
It's bad for regular people.
No, I can get help with it. I get help with it by my coworkers, thankfully.
Okay. Awesome. Just had to ask that. So everything else doing well for you, Travis?
You know, it is actually. I just can't believe we're getting to the end of the month.
I know. And how's your BFF doing over there?
Doing well. Doing very
That's good.
well.
I have a question. When are you going to bring her? Oh, I know she's working, but when are you going to bring her for a live cameo on Tea and Poetry?
I really don't know, to be honest, because she's never off on Wednesdays. Typically, that's the thing.
Okay. So, all right.
We'll see, though. We'll make it work, though. We'll make it work somehow. We just don't know when it will happen. Just given the work schedule, etc.
Got it. All right. That sounds good. Anything else you want to share with everyone? Any questions for Mike, for Bambi, anything?
So, Mike, Bambi, first of all, great story. You told a very great story. And you said you have a YouTube channel, Mike?
Yes, called The RP Show.
The RP Show.
Yep.
I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, search The RP Show 2021, and you should be able to find it that way.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm sorry. Here. Okay, so do the RP Show what now?
It's if you search The RP Show 2021, you can find it.
Okay, hang on a minute here. I'm sorry, I got my voiceover's going off. Okay, so the RP Show what now, Mike?
It's The RP Show 2021.
The RP Show 2021.
And Mike, do you have a website also?
We don't. We're looking to do that next. Actually, we're the funny thing. We actually, on top of doing the RP Show, we make funny T-shirts as well. So we actually have a side thing we're doing on top of that we do in the off season. So yeah, we're trying to.
I've seen a few of those.
Definitely get a website.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those. I know we've got a few things coming through on the chat. I can see it flashing up. A lot of questions. Can we, Barry? Are you able to kind of go through?
Yeah, so Bambi, can you confirm the name of your podcast? Is it the She Is VIP podcast?
The She Is a VIP podcast.
She is the She Is a VIP podcast. And do you have?
And it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
I do. I have a website. It's sheisthevip.com.
Sheisthevip.com.
She is a.
She is a.
She is a. I'm sorry. She is a VIP.com.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. Let me go ahead and see if I'm missing anything else here from the comments. If there's anyone wants to unmute themselves, Cindy, here you go. I'm gonna have you unmute yourself, and Cindy, feel free to talk. Unmute yourself first.
Help Advanced Autumn Software Update. Last checked today, your Mac.
Cindy, if you want to, just asking you to unmute yourself, but if you do want to speak, maybe not.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else want to say anything? I know we're getting great comments here through the chat, but if anyone wants to come on, say hello, ask any questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
David?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh God, I'm having an awful time. How are you?
I'm very good. It's good to hear your voice.
I'm so glad. I'm David. How are you? I was having all kinds of problems. Technical is not my better thing, as Doreen and people that know me know. This is why I'm trying to learn. Very discouraging. Last week I found the hand. I didn't realize I couldn't find it. I couldn't unmute. These are the frustrations. And I'm just
every week you'll get better. Don't worry about it. Every week you're with us. You'll figure it out.
But I'm going to tell you something, David. When I was coming home on the bus from Insight today, something came in my mind about Against All Odds. And I just started thinking about all the tears and all the fears and all the barriers and, all the unbelief that anything could get better. And then, you feel that there's no relief. As you see things getting dimmer and dimmer, we keep reaching for that beacon of hope. A few years back, I was just like, between my other disability and things I was going through, I felt hopeless. Thank God for insight. Thank God for the ride bus and for the people that stand behind me to help me. Because every day gets to be a struggle. Like, I want to help other people more than me getting the help. I want to help others. It's been something I've done all my life and I want to do it. And I'm not going to, even if I lose all my sight, I'm going to continue to do it one way or another. But our strength comes from people like you, everyone here, and the people that help me in insight and the people that help around me, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to reach any goals, and we need each other. And it's harder for me because I have such a hard time with technical to reach out. I have to overcome fear, because sometimes the fear of Facebook, the fear of going on TikTok, or the fear of this, that I'm going to mess up something, I got to overcome this. And it takes people like all of you to help people like us be able to do it. Thank God for Doreen at Insight. Thank God for all the people at Insight. Thank God that I'm able to go to a soup kitchen, walk out by faith, knowing that that ride bus would come. And if I'm stuck, someone will help me. It's overcoming fear. And, we take a lot of steps back, few steps forward, and then we take 10 back, but we have to keep getting up and we have to keep going forward. And we need to know that if we need that help, that someone's there. It's that one person who will offer us a smile and a good word that's going to give us the strength to carry on. So, David, that poem hit home, because that's what I was thinking on the bus coming home today.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. Thank you.
No, you're exactly right with what you're saying. And, everyone who's on here tonight has got something in common. We take our own experiences, whether it be through making light of something, making it funny so people relate to it, or talking about issues that really matter. But we share our experiences in the hope that other people will connect with them and be supported through them. And their days get easier and better through it. So that's something that's always at the forefront of my mind. And you just made me think of something that I've been doing this week. For those people who are listening, who have RP, which is the condition that I have, and are part of some of the support groups and pages on Facebook that I'm a part of, there was a video that really resonated with me a few days ago from a lady who lives in a place called Irving in Massachusetts. And she's got RP, and she's just got to the stage now where she has to hand in a license and she can no longer drive. And that's left her unemployed and not knowing how to support herself and everything else. And she's not registered as being legally blind or anything else. She's kind of lived with it and just kind of, as Bambi said, just kind of tried to fumble her way through. And I reached out straight away to Doreen and a few other organizations that I know, Insights and the Carroll Center, to try and get her connected with people that are going to support her and help her. But it's all of us that share our stories that are often the first people that people like that get to hear. They go on the support groups and they don't, interact very often, but they read and they listen. And, when they see people like Mike and people like Bambi, with their podcasts and posting and sharing their own take on this thing, it's a really powerful thing. And, we never know, as Mike said right at the beginning, we never know who we're impacting. So that's something that I never take for granted.
So Dave, I think because we are at 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or whatever time it is in
Yeah.
Australia this morning, and you'll tell us. Please, Dave, you want to wrap things up? And it's been an incredible.
Yeah, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you, first of all, to Mike and to Bambi and to everyone else. But, you know, Mike and Bambi for being our guests tonight. I hope you'll continue to come back, and we know there's more conversations we can have week in, week out with us. So please do come back and join us again. And tell, yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, I just want to say thank you as well. A pleasure to meet both of you. Again, an incredible group. I hope everyone is enjoying, just with the video here. I think it's, I personally feel that it's making this community stronger, bringing us closer together. And I just wanted to add to Cindy, as far as what you're saying, as far as, your fear of technology, your fear of maybe messing up. The more we put ourselves out there and put ourselves in uncomfortable situations, the more you're going to become better and feel, better as far as what you're doing, and that fear will ultimately go away. So I know I give this analogy, but 4 or 5 years ago, I was afraid to get in front of a live video camera. As you can see, I'm here talking. I don't exactly get nervous at all. It's something we put ourselves out there. We become stronger. Going back to what Dave said and start things off, we become stronger, and just got to keep making ourselves, putting ourselves out there. So finish up, Dave. Take it away.
Yeah. So I'm going to leave you with a piece of poetry, and I spoke about this poem right at the beginning. I wrote it a few days ago now, and it's kind of been shared a lot on social media. I think in the first kind of like hour, it had something like 6,000 views in an hour, which was insane, and it's grown and grown from there. And I keep getting comments, and a lot of the comments, I'm hearing people saying, "I really needed to hear this today," which is what we've spoke about. So I'm gonna read it for you, and I think a lot of you will kind of relate to this. There will come a time when all the things that you once feared will feel the same as vision loss. They slowly disappeared. I've come to understand this most about my long white cane, but if you're not quite there yet, through this poem, I'll explain. I used to feel self-conscious every time that I went out, faced ignorance with eye contact and fake, I heard them shout. So I would stay at home and make excuses to stay in. I let the misconceptions about blindness claim their win. I'd let my family guide me rather than instead confess that I just had low vision, but this added to the stress. I thought that being seen as blind was being seen as weak, yet I did not confess these things to no one I did speak. Now I know I wasn't on my own there any time. There's people just like me who all relate to what I rhyme. Acceptance is a process that we all must come to learn, and time plus perseverance helps the things once lost return. So don't be too hard on yourself or feel like you have failed. There's beautiful, calm waters once this rough sea you have sailed. For now I see it clearly. For this thing I feel no shame. I'm proud of where I'm going with my savior, my long cane.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everyone. We will continue this next week. Thanks to all the new guests that have joined us. As Allison always calls us, the tribe. And we wish everyone, whether it's still afternoon, evening, morning, be well, stay safe. And if you're enjoying Tea and Poetry, please share. You can also watch previous episodes on YouTube on the Blind Poet channel. And we look forward to seeing you next week. So saying so long, and be well. Thank you, everyone.
See you soon. Take care, guys.
See you later. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, Bambi. Bye, Mike. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching Tea and Poetry, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Join us live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK. A big thank you to our sponsors, the Lanny D. Chesapeake Lighthouse and the Low Vision Shop. If you enjoyed Tea and Poetry, please invite a friend, like, share, and subscribe.